Every night, millions of cats make the same mysterious decision. They ignore the soft blanket, the expensive cat bed, even the quiet corner of the house. Instead, they choose to sleep beside one person, you. Coincidence? Or is your cat trying to tell you something far more meaningful? For years, many people believed cats simply wanted warmth. Others assumed they were looking for comfort. But modern feline behavior research suggests there may be much more happening inside your cat's mind. And by the end of this video, you'll discover why sleeping beside you may be one of the strongest signs of trust your cat can ever give. Problem introduction. If you've ever woken up to find your cat curled against your legs, resting on your chest, or quietly sleeping beside your pillow, you're not alone. Cat owners all over the world report the exact same behavior. In fact, many cats develop a favorite sleeping person. But why? After all, cats are famous for being independent. Unlike dogs, they rarely follow commands. They don't constantly seek approval, and they almost always choose where they want to be, which makes one question incredibly interesting. Why would an animal that values independence voluntarily spend 6 to 8 hours sleeping next to a human? The answer begins with understanding how cats survive in the wild. Psychology explanation. Long before cats shared our homes, their ancestors survived by making careful decisions. Every place they rested, every territory they entered, every living creature they approached could mean the difference between survival and danger. Sleeping is one of the most vulnerable moments in a cat's life. When asleep, a cat can't react as quickly. It can't defend itself as effectively. Its awareness is reduced, which means choosing a sleeping location is never random. It's a psychological decision, one based on a single question. Do I feel completely safe here? That ancient instinct still exists inside every domestic cat today. Even though your living room isn't a jungle, your cat's brain still evaluates safety every single day, and that's where you come in. If your cat repeatedly chooses to sleep beside you, it may not simply be choosing your bed. It may be choosing the person who makes it feel safest. And scientists decided to investigate exactly that. Scientific evidence. Modern studies of feline behavior have transformed the way researchers understand the relationship between cats and humans. One of the most influential findings came from attachment research. Using the secure base test, researchers observed how cats behaved when separated from and reunited with their owners. The results surprised many experts. Cats that had formed secure attachments became noticeably more confident when their trusted human returned. Much like young children, a trusted caregiver can become a source of emotional security. While the secure base test doesn't specifically study sleeping behavior, many feline behavior specialists believe the same principle helps explain why cats choose certain sleeping locations. When a cat voluntarily sleeps beside you night after night, it may be demonstrating that your presence is associated with comfort, familiarity, and safety. Not because it has to, but because it chooses to. And that choice is incredibly meaningful. Real-life examples. Think about your own cat. Maybe it waits until you're asleep, then quietly jumps onto the bed. Maybe it curls up against your feet or settles beside your pillow. Perhaps it doesn't ask for attention at all. It simply wants to be nearby. Many owners assume this is just a habit, but habits don't develop without a reason. Cats often create predictable routines around the people they trust most. Some even change sleeping spots depending on where their favorite human sleeps. That isn't blind dependence. It's selective companionship. And there's another fascinating reason your cat may stay close while you sleep. One that has nothing to do with affection alone. It has to do with biology. Because while you're sleeping, your body is constantly giving off heat. Your breathing is steady. Your heartbeat is predictable. To a cat, those signals create a calm, stable environment. Safety and comfort working together. But sleeping beside you doesn't always mean everything is normal. Sometimes it can signal something very different. Of course, Not every cat sleeps beside its owner for the same reason. Context always matters. Imagine a cat that has suddenly started sleeping on your chest after years of preferring the windowsill, or a cat that becomes unusually clingy overnight, refusing to leave your side. While this can sometimes reflect a stronger bond, a sudden change in sleeping behavior can also signal that something isn't right. Cats are experts at hiding discomfort. In the wild, showing weakness could attract predators. That instinct hasn't disappeared. Instead, domestic cats often hide illness until the symptoms become difficult to ignore. If your cat suddenly becomes much more attached than usual, stops eating, seems unusually quiet, avoids jumping, or shows any signs of pain, it's important not to assume it's simply becoming more affectionate. Behavior is only one piece of the puzzle. Veterinary behavior experts recommend paying attention to changes that happen alongside other unusual symptoms, because sometimes the greatest act of love you can show your cat is recognizing when it needs help. But assuming your cat is healthy, there's another fascinating question. If sleeping beside you is a choice, why does your cat choose one specific spot? Why your cat chooses certain places? Have you ever noticed? Some cats sleep near your feet. Others curl up against your legs. Some prefer your chest, and a few insist on sleeping beside your head. At first, these positions may seem random, but feline behavior suggests otherwise. Your feet are usually the least disruptive part of the bed. They move less during sleep, making them a stable resting place. Sleeping beside your legs allows a cat to remain close, while still having plenty of room to leave if necessary. The chest is different. Your heartbeat, your breathing, and your body warmth create a powerful sense of familiarity. Researchers believe cats become highly familiar with the sounds and rhythms of the people they trust. Those steady patterns may help them relax. Then there's the pillow. Your face carries one of the strongest concentrations of your natural scent. Cats rely on scent far more than humans realize. To them, your unique scent represents something deeply familiar, something predictable, something safe. Which brings us to one of the biggest misunderstandings about cats. Expert tips. Many owners believe they should encourage this behavior. Others worry they're reinforcing dependency. The truth is much simpler. If your cat chooses to sleep beside you, let it remain a choice. Trust cannot be forced. Cats value control over their environment. When they decide where to rest, they're making a decision based on comfort, security, and confidence. You don't need to pick your cat up every night. You don't need to place it on the bed. In fact, giving your cat the freedom to choose often strengthens trust over time. Providing several comfortable sleeping areas throughout your home is also important. A confident cat feels safe because it has options, not because it's trapped in one place. And whether your cat sleeps beside you every night, or only once in a while, the relationship isn't measured by a single behavior. It's measured by the pattern that develops over months and years. Because the real meaning isn't found in one night. It's found in what your cat consistently chooses. And that leads to perhaps the most remarkable discovery of all. By now, one thing has probably become clear. Your cat doesn't simply choose a place to sleep. It chooses a place where it feels completely secure. That's what makes this behavior so extraordinary. Cats are remarkably selective. They decide where to eat, where to hide, where to play, and perhaps most importantly, where to become completely vulnerable. Sleep is the only time a cat willingly gives up much of its awareness. Its reflexes slow. Its guard drops. For a wild animal, that's a tremendous risk. Which means, when your cat repeatedly chooses to sleep beside you, it isn't making a casual decision. It's making a psychological one. One based on trust. Not obligation, not dependence, but safety. And perhaps that's the greatest compliment a cat can ever give. The hidden meaning most owners miss. Many people believe love always has to be obvious. Dogs wag their tails. People hug. Friends smile. Cats communicate differently. Their affection is often quiet, almost invisible. They don't need dramatic gestures. Instead, they stay. They remain close. They choose your company. They sleep beside you. Not because you've asked them to, but because they want to. And that's what makes feline affection so unique. It's voluntary. Every single night, your cat has countless places where it could sleep. The sofa, the chair, its own bed, a sunny window, a quiet corner. Yet many cats return to the very same person, again, and again, and again. That consistency tells a powerful story. But every cat is different. Of course, not every loving cat sleeps in bed. Some cats prefer nearby furniture. Others choose the foot of the bed. Some stay in the same room. Others simply check on you during the night before leaving. That doesn't mean they love you any less. Just like people. Cats have different personalities. Some are incredibly social. Others value a little more personal space. Scientists have found that cats show attachment in many different ways. Some slow blink. Some gently headbutt. Some quietly follow you from room to room. Some greet you at the door. Others simply choose to be near you without asking for attention. The behavior may look different, but the message can be exactly the same. I trust you. But first, the greatest sign of all. Perhaps the biggest misunderstanding about cats is believing they don't form deep emotional bonds. Modern research tells a different story. Cats may not express affection the way dogs do, but that doesn't mean their feelings are any less meaningful. They simply communicate in their own language, a language built on trust, safety, choice, and quiet companionship. So tonight, if your cat jumps onto your bed, curls up beside your legs, or peacefully falls asleep near you, take a moment to appreciate what you're seeing, because you're witnessing something your cat never gives away lightly. Complete trust. Back to conclusion. The more scientists learn about feline behavior, the clearer one thing becomes. Cats don't love loudly. They love carefully, patiently, quietly, and always on their own terms. If your cat has chosen to sleep beside you, it may not just be looking for warmth. It may be telling you something far more meaningful. That in a world where safety means everything, you are the place where it feels most at home. And for a creature that trusts so carefully, that may be one of the greatest expressions of love it can ever give. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden psychology behind feline behavior, make sure to subscribe to the Cat Mind Code Day, because every week we'll explore the fascinating science that helps us understand our cats a little better. And you may discover they've been communicating with you all along.